So we're in the small business subreddit today. This is from an analyst, Remat, who says, what's something people think is easy about running a small business, but actually isn't? Do we have enough time?
I don't know.
We have enough time for this. All right. And then they said, for me, it's time management. Yeah, absolutely. Everyone assumes that because you're your own boss, you can just set your own hours and it's all super flexible. Wow. Yes. Well,
Yeah. It's called 24/7.
Beautiful. He's
24/7.
absolutely he's absolutely right about this though. Everyone thinks, you're your own boss. You can do whatever you want. The hell I can. Sometimes I have more restrictions on me than you ever will as an employee.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Moving on. In reality, you wear 10 different hats a day, get pulled in every direction, spend more time reacting than doing the work you actually planned. Your to-do list grows faster than it shrinks, and free time usually means catching up on something you forgot. It's not just about working hard. It's about constantly deciding what matters most, even when everything feels important. What's something others assumed would be simple, but turned out to be way harder than expected for you?
People management.
Oh, please. Yes. Brilliant. Go ahead.
Because it's one of those, you assume that people that come and work actually want to work. And then you quickly find out that a lot of people just want a subscription to money.
A subscription to money, yes.
For the privilege of showing up at your location.
If they show up.
If they show up,
on
right?
time.
Now, the last time I had that experience, there was no COVID, there was no working from home, right? So like everybody showed up at their office. But yeah, I remember we had one that was like, I would go like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm working on this project. And I'm like, okay, it's a 20-minute project. I'd come back 3 hours later. What are you doing? Oh, I'm still trying to wrap this up. What? Like, what?
What were you doing all this time?
Yeah, what are you going to do with the other 2.5 hours you sat here? Because you've not been working on this for 3 hours.
Yeah,
like clearly not, right? But yeah, managing people and when the wrong person gets hired into your team, managing the drama, right? It's like being a kindergarten teacher. Well, Johnny said that he was going to take care of it, and then he didn't, and now I'm following. Okay, let's go talk to Johnny, right? Johnny, use a bug and a wish, right? It bugs me when you don't deliver your project on time. I wish you would. Like, I swear sometimes. Yeah, that's what they learn in kindergarten.
That's so funny.
It bugs me when you call me names. I wish you would be nice to me, right?
Yeah. I know where you're going. It's funny.
So I use it all the time now. I'm like, let's use a bug and a wish when we're complaining about our fellow employees. What bugs you about it, and what would you wish they did instead, right? But yeah, like some of the petty stuff that you got to deal with when it comes to having employees is the thing that probably surprised me the most. Like, don't get me wrong, the vast majority of the people that you hire are going to end up being good and not be a problem. But when you get that one that's like a kindergartner, it throws everything into turmoil.
Oh, sure.
Right? Like that's something I was not expecting. Like I was expecting a bad employee to be bad. I wasn't expecting the trickle down effect.
So I have to ask the question, and Gary Vaynerchuk opened my eyes to this years ago. No one's good at hiring, but you got to get good at firing, right? So why didn't you fire that person?
That was the employee that led me to being quicker at firing.
Oh, okay. That was what led you to it. Great.
Yes.
Okay.
That was when I realized that, I can fire people. Like, that's my prerogative.
Yeah.
I own the business. Like, if you're causing problems, whether they're real problems or behind the scenes problems or killing morale, then no, that's my job. My job is to literally fire you.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Well, that's your job as the business owner is to make sure everybody else is in good spirits, has a good place to work. And if you have that one, I don't care how skilled they are. If you bring that one person in who just brings everybody else down, they got to go.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
See ya. I don't care.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you're great at doing what you do.
No.
I'll find somebody else.
Yes.
All right. For me, cash flow.
Oh,
Cash flow is a brutal nightmare for a company. And quite frankly, I don't care if you've been around for 1 year or 10 years.
Yeah.
Cash flow is a nightmare.
Got it. That's why. So I have a CMA on staff.
Yeah.
Certified management accountant.
Uh-huh.
And like, that was her thing, was like when she came into the business.
Money in.
She started looking at our cash flow and she's
Yep.
like, oh, we got to fix this. So
Yeah.
she started looking at it and she goes, okay, here's the 11 customers that always pay late that are messing with cash flow,
Yep.
right? And she literally started hounding them. Those now started paying on time
They don't
because
want to hear from her.
correct, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, cash flow is
Cash flow is
so
a brutal, man. It
important.
is a brutal thing when it comes to doing this. And the problem is that, exactly like you said, you'll get customers or clients that just they're not doing, some are, but most of them aren't doing it on purpose. It's like they're small business owners too. They're wearing 100 different hats. It slips their minds. Sometimes they don't have the money. And they don't tell you that. And and what winds up happening is you have more money on the street than you can handle, right?
Yes.
Meaning that you need a good portion of money just to pay payroll,
Right.
let alone vendors and yourself,
Yes.
right? God forbid you do that, right? You can't expand without it, but you have all this money on the street, and it's like, if I had every dime of that right now, I could double my production. I
Yes.
could get more people, more machinery, but you don't. It's on the street, and you don't know if and when it's coming in.
It's funny because on the printing side of our business, we deal with a lot of like local electricians and the little local guys, right? And then we also deal with a lot of the bigger entities, right? And it's funny because we always send them a contract, right? So whenever we start working for them and they ask for terms, we send them a contract with the net days payable in it.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times we get it back where they've crossed out our net terms and written in their own.
I love it.
Right. And I'm like, oh, so you want to be net 90, not net 30, right? And we literally got into it with one company. I was like, I'm not taking you on at net 90.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll do net 60. And they're like, yeah. And when I was talking to her, she was really nice, right? Like it wasn't really an issue. It was one of those, they're a giant builder, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, it takes 30 days from the time we get an invoice till the time it gets approved. And she's like, there's nothing I can do to cut down that time because of the sheer volume of invoices that we get, right? And I'm like, okay, I get it. And she's like, so the reason we put 90 is in case something gets overlooked or we don't get to it and we don't send the check out until day 55, right? And it doesn't get to you till day 67. We don't want to get hit with a late fee. And I'm like, oh, so it's about the late fees. And she goes, yeah, some of our vendors, like they have high late fees on their stuff, right? So like they just created this policy that they just try to get 90 days every time.
Yeah.
Just to not get hit with late fees. Not that they don't want to pay you. It's just.
No, I know.
So,
I get it.
So I was like, okay. I'm like,
what does that do for you? That doesn't help you though.
No. But like once they explained to me why they had that process and it was about the late fees and all that, I agreed to net 60 terms,
what?
right?
You know what though? That's okay because you agreed to it. That's what you're expecting. You can forecast based off of that. What you can't forecast off is the one who says, I'll send the check in next week and then doesn't.
I can tell you what solved a huge cash flow issue for us is when we switched to QuickBooks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's an option to save credit card numbers in QuickBooks.
Yeah.
And you only see the last 4 digits
Yep.
And then the security code, right? So we started offering a lot of our smaller clients. So basically, if you were doing under, I think we cut it off at like $3,000 a month. We offered you that we would just process your credit card and you could just come pick up your drawings and they were already paid for.
Very cool.
99% of our clients were like, we can do that? You can do that for me? And I'm like, absolutely I can. I will gladly pay the 3% processing fee to get my money guaranteed in 2 days, right? Because it helped with cash flow tremendously, right? Because we would have months where like it was the 28th and I'm like, please be a big enough deposit tomorrow, right?
Kidding.
To cover payroll, right? And it wasn't because we didn't have them. It wasn't that we didn't have the money. It's just the money was on the street, not in our bank account.
Right.
So yeah, figuring out your cash flow is huge.
Yeah. So that's, for me, has always been the biggest challenge. A lot of people will have the challenge of getting business, right? Especially when you're first starting out, that's always a challenge. I'm not going to say I didn't have that challenge, but it wasn't as challenging as some other things.
Right.
I've always had a good network,
Yeah.
and when I started my law practice, using that network was very beneficial to getting clients in pretty quickly. But even to this day, I still have cash flow problems. It's insane. The things that I want to do with the business sometimes I can't do because of cash flow issues.
Maybe you should hire an assistant.
A CMA. Maybe I should get an assistant. Yeah.
that actually does the collections for you and hounds people for the money.
That's a very good point. No, Gummy and I just right before we started the podcast, I did my second round of interviews with potential assistants for an assistant role, I should say, and I had Gummy sit in on that. So thank you very much for that. By the way, you had definitely some clairvoyance into things. Really appreciate it.
It's always nice getting a second perspective. That's why, like when we do interviews, I try to always have two people in on them.
Yep.
At either the first or second interview, just because they sometimes see stuff that you don't. But
they do.
Yeah.
All right, so look at some of the comments. The very first one is employees, which we touched on. They're absolutely correct. I like this one: being responsible for everything and anyone. It's true.
Yep.
You are the plumber, electrician, IT expert, administrator, legal expert. You're everything.
Yes.
You are everything in the business at first.
At first, yeah.
That's it. And there's a lot of different hats to wear there.
I still remember when we had just hired I forget what it was. It was whatever number person it was at our office. And someone goes, the light bulb's out in the bathroom. And I'm like, well, I guess I know what I'm doing when everybody leaves.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's now my job.
Yep.
I'm not calling someone to go replace a light bulb.
My guys still come to me and say, yeah, and there's a problem in the bathroom with this. There's a problem over here with the light bulb, and this one's flickering. And it's like,
and
I guess I'm getting on a ladder right now.
Correct, right? Like,
forget about that. The complaint I was drafting with the judge that's going, I got to fix a light bulb.
Oh,
I know, it's frustrating.
I don't miss those days.
Time, but this one here is correct. Time management, which they said earlier in the post. Yeah, that's one of the biggest ones. Is being able to manage, because I know you have the same problem I do. Oh, excuse me. I'll walk in and I'll be like, all right, today I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And by the end of the day, I have gotten to neither this, or this, or this, or this, or this.
It's like my former mentor, the guy that I used to work for, right? So he's a Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
And I always remember the one time I came in, he had just put me in like a management position, and I go to meet him at his house, and I'm like, I've gotten nothing done in the last 2 days. I've just been managing stuff, right? I'm like, I've had this to-do list, things that I plan doing. And he goes, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plan. And I'm like, that's what I feel like running a business is, right? Like, if you want to make somebody laugh, tell them you have a plan for the day.
Seriously.
Because whatever that plan is, it's a draft at best.
Yeah, it
right?
really is.
Yeah.
It really is. So anyway.
So that actually for me, just to touch on that, the thing that changed the most for me was when I started slotting time, right? So like Mondays and Tuesdays, I do certain things, right? Wednesday mornings from 8:30 to 10 are my time. Like that's the time if I'm researching something, if I'm trying to come up with a new process, like that time is mine. I don't go into the office. I don't have my phone with me. Like you can't get a hold of me for that time. Like that's my problem solving for the business time. Thursdays is my networking day, right? And same thing. I barely go into the office, and everybody in the office knows, don't call me unless it's an emergency, like true emergency. So when I started laying some fundamental things down on certain days, my productivity went up drastically.
Okay.
And I hands down recommend anybody that's starting a business is have certain time slots. It doesn't have to be like an all day thing. It can be 2 hours here, 3 hours here, where you're dedicating that time to something and you do it every week, always. Because it just like a lot of small business owners, when you're starting up, like you have to do your marketing, right? Well, if you don't slot off an hour on Mondays between 10 and 11 and put it on your calendar and make it a routine, you're never going to make content or do the marketing. If you don't slot in time for networking or whatever it is that you are doing to grow the business, all the chaos and all the fires end up stopping you from doing the things you should be doing.
Gotcha.
So yeah, to me, it was important. Like there are certain things on my calendar And I do those unless it has to be something significantly more important that comes up, right? But those have become like my precious slots of time where I take care of the stuff that has to be taken care of in order for the business to advance. But yeah, a lot of people end up just putting out fires all day. And then you talk to them a year later and they're in the same position a year later.
Yeah. And that happens to me a lot too. I have to, as much as I'd like to spend my weekends with my family sometimes my weekend is doing the stuff that I didn't get done during the week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't shut my phone off. I have to talk to my clients, I have to be ready to, like I'm running multiple companies. So I have multiple different personalities and things going on.
Yeah, I've gotten better at that too.
Have
you? The big thing for me was I stopped taking my phone to the bedroom. So like when I'm done for the day and I go upstairs, my phone stays downstairs.
Yeah.
So whenever I come down the next morning, I don't even pick up my phone for the first hour.
Oh, wow.
I go down, I do breakfast with my kids, I get them ready for school, I do all those things. Then as I'm about to walk out the door is when I will check my phone.
Gotcha.
But having that time to myself in the morning.
Yeah, and the kids.
Because a lot of times what would happen is I would look at something as soon as I got up and I'm like, shit, now I got to do this today, right? And it would literally ruin my first hour of the day because there was nothing I could do about it. I wasn't going to walk out the house earlier. Like I still have to get the kids off to school and stuff. So all it would do was just annoy me for an hour that I couldn't get to it. So how do you stop that? Don't check your phone.
Don't check your phone. Yeah.
Right? Like,
that's so hard. It's so hard.
Oh, trust
me. I can't
me.
imagine not doing
Dude,
that.
it took me probably a good 2 or 3 months to get into the habit of not checking my phone immediately upon getting up and going downstairs.
Yeah.
Like it was just make coffee, check my phone. That was the routine. And all I had to do was just, do you want to know how I actually ended up doing it? So what I would do is I would not charge my phone at night.
Uh-huh.
So when I got up in the morning, I had to charge my phone because I use 60-70% battery, right?
Yeah.
And now with the fast chargers, it takes about an hour to get the phone to 80%. So now when I get up in the morning, I grab my phone, I put it on the charger. So now it has to sit on the charger for an hour and I don't have to worry about going and getting it.
That's
like
interesting. I don't know if I have the discipline for that. All right. Anyway, analyst remat. Yeah. You obviously know what's going on.
Yeah.
I hope some of our information gave some more insights, but clearly you know what's going on. I'm sure you have every one of these problems that we talked about and what the people below are talking about in the comments too. But keep at it. That's business, man. But with all the great things that come with business, people don't realize all the bad things that come with it too. All the headaches that come with it.
Remember that if you have questions or comments, please drop them below and we will prioritize actually answering the questions on these videos.